All right, another night. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rose Corner. It is time for Conversation Talk with Rose. I want to welcome my guest this evening, a man who is no stranger to this platform. He was here with us for our first conversation talk on the topic of the COVID pandemic. And I want to welcome my dear brother in Christ, my brother from another mother, my brother in Christ, Mr. Robinson. Welcome, Mr. Robinson. How are you doing this evening?
I'm fine, Mr. Rose. And I'm very grateful for that astute introduction.
You're most welcome, my brother. You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
And I'm very humble to be on a platform, as this, we need to
Yes.
do, the Rose
Yeah,
Corner.
that's
Where
right.
else could we find an opportunity like this but to be on Rose Corner?
I tell you,
Yes,
this is
yes,
where
yes,
we talk about so many things,
yes.
And we had a wonderful discussion the last time, Mr. Robinson, on the COVID pandemic. Right now there's so many other things going on, both local and international, as it relates to the impact that the COVID pandemic has caused globally, and also where we see Russia invading Ukraine at this time. Is a very serious situation that continues to develop. Also, back here in Jamaica, the motion has been passed today in the House of Representatives for Portmore to become the 15th parish of Jamaica. And later tonight at 8:30, TVJ will be having a town hall session on the plans for Portmore becoming the 15th parish of Jamaica. A lot of things going on all at once. And also, just yesterday, the day before, the minimum wage has been increased. So we're going to dive into that, my brother, tonight with you, and get your take on all of this and so much more tonight. And I want to welcome those that are watching this conversation. Right, so we'll be getting into the discussion at this time. All right, and the discussion this evening will include, as I said, a minimum wage increase to make us inflation rates, high prices for food, and our crime rate situation in Jamaica at this time. Right, it was on the it was Tuesday, the 22nd of February, the Minister of Labor and Social Security, the Honorable Carlson Moda, mentioned in a digital press conference, says that we shall see the rate of the minimum wage move from $7,000 to $9,000 per 40-hour work, for a 40-hour work week. There's a lot of discussion on this, a lot of those that are for and against. We've heard, in the news from some of the trade unions that have also come out and have spoken on this increase. Personally, for me, my view on the minimum wage, I'll just share what I have to say, and then I'll introduce you to share your thought on this, Mr. Robinson, is that, it is a critical component of the labor force, and how persons are paid in certain categories of the labor force, in my opinion. And there was an analyst that stated that if the minimum wage was not a structure that was implemented, you would have a situation where employers could pay their workers little or nothing below standard. And so I guess the minimum wage is sort of like a measuring stick of expectation of what employers, are to pay their workers. It was 7,000. It was increased to 7,000 back in 2018. I believe the report stated.
Yes, 2018, over a 4-year period, right?
Right. And now it has increased to $9,000. I think the minimum wage increase has to tie into the inflation rate. you know, and inflation rate does affect food prices, which we are going to look at shortly.
Right,
But
right.
when the discussion was about increasing the minimum wage, 9,000, that's just 2,000 more. I was expecting probably 9,005 or, you know,
Yeah,
$10,000, at least $10,000 because of the standard of living at this time. And we see
right.
that things are just continually going up, you know. So I think the increase is welcome, but was not what I was expecting. Was not what I was expecting. I think the government should have run it up to about $10,000, you know, because of the cost of living. Well, what do you have to say, Mr. Roberts?
Well, first, I have to commit, kind of put, I would say the government overall. I would have to say, I have to give them thumbs up, for to give us the opportunity, to have an increase. I mean, the truth of the matter is this: minimum wage is there to guide, us
Right, right.
in, not to pay the workers less than, what they're supposed to get. So overall, I'm very proud that the government has recognized that there's a need to increase, the minimum wage here, despite it is very small, 28.5%, which is over $2,000 going on from $7,000 to $9,000.
Yeah.
And they always have a saying to say that half a bread is better than no bread.
No bread, right, right.
Right? So to get an increase here of $2,000, over a 40-hour work week is really small, but I think some person will accept it for the time being. And remember that the minimum wage here is not refer only to domestic workers. It also include, security officers as well, and other persons within that framework that would have worked, I mean, in the minimum wage sector, you'd have said.
Right.
So I mean, as you rightly put it, you was expecting probably 9.5. Some was saying probably $10,000 to round it off. But tell you what, I've been listening and I've been reading and I've heard a lot of economists saying that, I mean, this is still small, but
It is, it is.
it is still small, but based on inflation, and it ties into it that we have to look at what is happening in the economy right now and what is happening globally. So, and they're using the term livable wage instead of a minimum wage. What is
Right.
livable?
Because that is what they want to change it to, instead of saying minimum wage.
Wage.
And there's a discussion in terms of how it is characterized going forward as a living wage. But $9,000 for a week is not livable. It's still not livable for a family of 2 or 3. It's not livable.
No, it's not livable, and it's really sad to see that, in this 21st century, we're still having discussion about what should the minimum wage be, or what should the livable wage be. I mean, when you compare us in the Caribbean and North America, there's a huge difference in terms of the currency and the gap, what we can able to buy at the supermarket or the wholesale versus what a person in America can purchase, or a person in Trinidad or Barbados can purchase, or in Cayman. So I think the conversation has to be changed to that livable wage, and change it. And I want to tell you, I've been listening recently in the media where persons who recognize the minimum wage persons have decided that there should be some components added to persons who are doing these type of work, right? Instead of employing somebody to just wash, they are saying that these persons still have a level of education where they should have some certification through art or whichever institution where to get this job now, they are suggesting that you're not only going to come and just clean the place, but you should be able to do a budget. So if my bills need to pay, you should be able to drive the car, go to the bank, or go to the light bill area in complex and pay those bills. And then you could demand that instead of getting $9,000, what about giving me 15 or 20,000 to do this service? But you know, that's my 2 cents on it so far. I just there's a lot more to be discussed on it.
Yes, yes, a lot more. Let us read here in the article. It says, you know, as we read earlier, the rate for industrial security guards will move up from 9,700 per week, which it is at now,
right,
to 10,500. And people must be reminded that these changes will take effect, as it stated there, the 1st of April, 2022.
Tom Food Day.
It's powerful there. so it might be effective the 2nd of April 2022. I have a larger article here to share.
Yes.
Let me just see if I can share it.
Yes.
You see my screen?
Yes.
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 I'm going to the article here online.
Right.
Which is basically saying the same thing that we have read.
Right.
As it says here,
Minister Samuda.
Right. Mr. Samuda said security guards will also benefit from an increase in laundry allowance that will move from $44 to $47.62 per hour, and firearm premium allowance that will go up from $48 to $51.95 per hour. The dog anglers premium allowance will be increased as well from $33 to $35.72 per hour, while life insurance with double indemnity protection and disbursements coverage will also increase from 2.75 million to 2.97 million.
Yes.
Right. So that is just some of what Minister Samuda mentioned.
And I must say that this is very important because sometimes persons do not understand that the security officers play a pivotal role in this country. And one must understand that from moving from 9,700 to 10,500 is still small.
It is still small.
Comparing to the domestic helper.
Why couldn't it be 11,500?
And look at the comparison. The domestic helper will be getting 9,000, and the security will be getting 10,500. So when you look at, there's not much.
That's not much. Between the space gap, right?
The space gap.
That's like just 1,500 difference.
Right. The only advantage with the security officers them is that those that use the firearm and those who use the canine, that is where they're really benefiting.
Some benefits are in, right?
And in terms of the life insurance and so forth. So there's a step in the right direction here. I mean, because remember that we can't just look at it from these persons that will be getting a salary in their pocket. But their clients and so forth who have to pay these large sum of money have to take in consideration their budget, their expense, and the expenditure and how things are. Knowing that they would already plan for the year. Knowing that our government started the 1st of April for the economy and the budget and so forth. But each company do things a little bit different. But it's interesting time. It is very interesting to see these things would play. I mean, you know, when I look at the numbers overall in Jamaica, the minimum wage, where what percentage of the population of 2.7, there's only 12% of the population, you know,
in the labor force.
In the labor force.
That's not good. That's not good.
You know,
what do you think can be a corrective measure to that though? How can that percentage increase going forward for future generations to come?
What I would say is that we need more persons to be educated.
Number one, yeah.
Right, and once persons are educated at the basic level. And when I say the basic level, it's not read and write, you know.
No.
But at the basic level where you can put on the table with your employer is to negotiate what you think would work for you to complete the task at hand. Right. So and that is the reason why I believe that one of the things I suggest that the government can do is that they could plan an island-wide initiative, you know, where you could just look at the numbers of how much persons in the country fall in the domestic bracket, and ensure that these persons get upscale training that would give them the power in their hands to demand a little bit more. That's why I was suggesting that for us to have a domestic helper in our household, instead of just pay them to do the small things,
right,
I would suggest that once they are trained and they can able to pay a bill, go to the supermarket and shop for you and do all of these things, that would have had a little bit more effect in, you know, in terms of their earning potential and able to negotiate and say, here what, mama, and you know, that you know what, as a domestic helper, I can do far more than just this, you know. I have the training, I have the ability, and I can make initiatives and do things even better. And if you can, yeah, and so forth. So I think we need to shift the paradigm and to help our people to understand here what this minimum wage is just not just going to the wholesale world, going to the factory, and in this franchise and just work a minimum wage. The idea is to train our people, get them certified, to be more
productive,
and with our institute now encouraging every single Jamaicans now to be certified, whether at level 1 or level 2 or level 3. I would suggest that the government can come up with a program where that if you make an announcement, say come 2024, going forward, every domestic helper, every security officer, and so forth, which I know the security officer have to be trained now through art. Every single person that works in the minimum wage sector, you know, has to be certified with a level 1 certificate or level 2 certificate. Meaning that now that every person who get employed must have a level 1 or level 2 certification from art. Trust.
Right. In the field that they're going into.
Right. So that simply means that now some person will say, well, we're going to cut off those persons who have been doing this for years. But tell you what, I would put on the tip that persons who have been doing this for years, you'd not leave them out. You'd have called them in, let the art officers them go into these institute and these places or these homes and said, here what? I know you have been doing this for the last 20 years, 30 years. I know you don't have the time to come back in the classroom or to write.
Those type of stuff. Right.
So guess what? We'll ask you the questions and then we'll assess you there. And based on the assessment of you, we give you the level 1 certificate.
That sounds fair. That sounds fair.
And in order to move from, because we have to be mindful that you have some persons who did not have the opportunity in the 70s and the 80s.
Or the 80s, right.
Or the 80s. So for those persons now, what we would do now is go in to them and assess them and give them a level 1 certificate. So going forward by 2024, every single domestic helper going in to work for somebody, one of the criteria we put on it, especially for the men, them who are butlers, the English term, is that you have to be able to drive. Meaning that one of the requirements for getting this job that you can able to drive, you must be able to drive, and you must be able to have this customer service skills where you can go in from it and do these initiatives where you can go pay my bill, write a budget for the house, not only take care of the kids until we come back home, but to ensure
other things, right?
But other things, and that would increase these persons' income in your pocket. So there would be no sense of saying that you're getting the exact minimum wage as the government would do every year, but you would have to get above that because you're able to do things, far more things.
Right.
Yes.
Well said. Said.
And before you move on, one of the things that I would advise the government and these domestic workers is that now most of them sometimes has to cook. And let me tell you, I know there's a difference between a cook and a chef.
And a chef, yeah.
But and Jamaica love them food. But just by cooking alone is not just a skill, but it's an art.
Yes.
And trust me, when you look on Jamaica roads, every corner, a man have a cook shop. And trust me, I would say that to cook in these institutions or so, and to get the minimum wage, there should be some incentive because cooking takes a lot.
A lot, that's right.
A lot. And remember, in order to work into a hotel, you have to be certified through UTech, with a certification, a degree, the diploma. In our masters to say, here what, I'm a sous chef, I'm a chef, and so forth. So I can do this stuff. I can prepare a dish, and prepare at a table. A conversation needs to be broadened. I think certification is the key thing.
It's important, certification.
And I believe with you having certification give you a greater negotiate chance at the table and the opportunity open for you. Because when persons go overseas to work in the hotel sector, you have to be certified to do these minimum wage work in certain sector. And I think that is the best way to go for that. I think the government should do island-wide certification
within
level 1
within the sector, within the minimum sector.
Yes, definitely.
Interesting. Thank you so much on that, Mr. Robinson. We'll be moving now to segment 2 of our discussion tonight, and we'll be looking, and it continues, because the minimum wage ties into inflation, and that's why we saw a 28.5%. As people say, we'll call it mediocre increase in the minimum wage.
Yes.
So for persons that are watching now, doesn't understand what inflation is, we are going to try to share the information tonight so that they can understand how inflation ties into minimum wage, or we should call a living wage, as we are going to start. A living wage.
A livable wage.
A livable.
If they can live with 9,000 or 10,500.
Order. Yes. So inflation rates are calculated, as it says, and published each month by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Staten, which also does our census, right?
Yes.
Inflation is measured. Inflation measures the rate of price change for goods. That's what inflation is, and services, right? So that's that's basically what inflation is. Do you want to break it down any other way for us, Mr. Robinson?
It's simple as this. Inflation speaks about goods and service. Price goes up, then there's a demand for things, or there's a decrease in the service.
Right.
So there's a way where inflation goes, because it comes down to the goods and the service. the demands
Right.
for goods and service in the economy, in the space at the time. And right now, as we speak, the perfect example, one of the things that is driving this inflation rate is the food.
There you go, right?
And the raw material behind the food is what we see happening on the global stage. Oil.
Right.
To run the machine. Yes, to run that machine, and the machine that produce the end product, which is the food.
Right.
And that is where it is. The price keeps going up.
Yes.
So the raw material that is there, you know, and the end product that we get, as you learn it, the cottage industry and all of these things.
Right.
So the inflation rate really gone up to the 9.7%.
Yes. And this is the latest report from Television Jamaica.
And I want to tell her that 9.7% is equal to the minimum wage, you have to say.
Yes.
I mean, it's like 9.7 to 9,000.
9,000. Yes. And that's why at the beginning of the conversation I said that it should be at least 9.5 or 1 up to 10, because you see, this is almost 10%. That's how high our inflation is at this time.
And one of the key points is this, when the inflation rate goes up, the BOJ, the Bank of Jamaica, has a pivotal role to play.
Yes.
We must let our viewers know that one of the things is that the BOJ is independent.
Yes.
They not operate underneath the government. Can you imagine if they were underneath the government? I don't know what would happen, but I'll leave that.
Leave that for Manayard and Mr. Clark.
Yes. To the extent of the Jamaican Republic, what that really is. But the independent of the BOJ is very good, because they can set their benchmark and the basis points how to do things. And right now, if I remember something right, I think the benchmark they set for this quarter is at 4%. That is it. So they're trying to ensure that things doesn't get away in the market, things doesn't get too sky high, but at a rate where
at a balanced level, huh?
At a balanced level. And anybody who know Ardisha back then in the 90s and in the early 2000s, always talking about interest rate. You can get 3%, 4% from the IDV.
Yes, right. If know how to get them, know how to get them.
But then we have in astute Rhodes Scholar as one politician classify in a black royalist.
Yes.
Comes in and manage things for us, which is Nigel Clark. But trust me. But when I look at the interest rate and then look at food prices, trust me, it raises concern. I mean, bread, sugar, flour, chicken. If one remember 3 weeks ago, there was a report out there, I don't know which it was, that KFC would raise their
but KFC
prices and so forth.
But they have raised their price like every other week,
Yeah, and so one of the things that we can advise our customers and our people is that when you go into the supermarket or to the market, try to get a list.
Right, a list.
From the consumer fair normally gives out, print out monthly or quarterly, the price list of goods, at various supermarkets in the country. And you can buy that and shop and buy. One of Jamaica's special food, in tin is mackerel and corned beef. And trust me, whenever corned beef goes up, you know that thing's tough. Because when a man can't buy a corned beef,
it's tough. It's
tough, me I tell you. Good old Grace.
Yes. Because they buy the corned beef and just buy a bread and work it out.
So one of the advice I would advise our friends and everybody is that ensure that you get that printout from the consumer affairs and look at each supermarket, the price, and able to shop and do a comparison and shop by that, whether by ILO, Progressive, Shoppers Fair, Price Mart or Mega Mart, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn supermarket, right?
Yeah. So persons can look at it and then determine what better to
purchase from.
From here. The same thing. If you can go to Coronation Market to get the pound of yam and the Hana banana, the sweet potatoes or cabbage, do that, you know, and so forth. And that ties into the livable wage. Can $9,000 really hold in our basket? But guess what? That's why we have to encourage our people to do backyard gardening.
Yes, it goes back to that now. Yes. We need to grow what we eat and eat what we grow, as they would say.
And trust me, as you have the information here, yes, electricity,
because the contribution to inflation in Jamaica, the increase was driven mainly by these divisions: food, non-alcoholic beverages, transportation, and we see where transportation, the bus fare raised a couple of weeks ago. Housing, housing will become even more expensive now, especially for people like you and I who will try to get house through NHT. That's going to go way up. Water, electricity, gas, as you mentioned, and other fuels, right?
Yes, and if this war continues in Russia with Ukraine,
I mean, gas and oil is going to go way up.
And trust me, we do not want Russia to cut off any gas in Europe.
No.
And we do not want America have to probably use up resources that they stored up into supply the entire Europe with gas, but through Saudi Arabia. Because Saudi Arabia is the #1 oil country. And trust me, we have seen barrels gone up to over $100.
Yes. It's rough.
Since 2014, we haven't seen prices like this.
No.
Trust me. And can you imagine what would happen in Jamaica? Because when work price goes up and Jamaica prices goes up at the gas station, it gone high. But when it goes on, it doesn't come down. And I think the Jamaican people demand some answers.
Right.
When the price go down in the world market.
Why doesn't it go down here?
Right. And when time there is go down, when they put out these numbers, we should see the change at the pumps. But
a question: Is it a good time now to have a car?
Tell you what, I'm a man of hope, you know. I'm a man that thinks head straight and head futuristic, because trust me, I would say yes, it's a good time to have a car. Every year there's gonna be obstacles, and we have to be able to overcome our challenges in time like this, despite what is happening. But what we have seen happening in Jamaica for the last year and a half, and I think through Darrell Vaz, the minister, has encouraged us that there will be electric cars and there will be more stations here for persons can carry their electric cars.
But that is like a medium long-term plan.
Yes.
Right, to sort of fulfill a part of the 2030 vision.
Vision. So I would say, here what? Go for it. Go for it.
It's 2022 now, you know.
Yes, be a risk taker. There's banks and there's credit unions out there willing to offer car loans. I said, go for it. Who knows what 2024 will bring? I'm a man of. It
may bring a lot of things. It may bring Kamala Harris.
Yeah. But 2024 is my number. If this person know me, I've not put 2023 in my book,
2024 is your
my year 2024 will be greater.
Yes.
And one gospel artist say 2020. so if you know that gospel artist will sing about 2020 and 2020 was this year.
Yes.
Let me tell people, 2024 is gonna be a great year. Trust me.
Let's declare it now, my brother. Declare it.
Yes,
Let us continue the discussion.
Yes, yes.
Inflation rate, it states that it can also be stated that inflation has measured by the consumer price index, which you have just spoken about.
Right.
Right. Reflects the annual percentage change in the cost to the average consumer of acquiring a basket of goods and services, which you have mentioned, that may be fixed or changed at a specific interval, such as yearly, as we see where, you know, goods are and services increase and up and down on a yearly basis.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the inflation comparison rates for the previous years here. So inflation rate for 2020 was 5.23%, right? Increase of 1.3% from 2019.
Right.
Inflation rate for 2019 was 3.91% and 0.17% from 2018.
So every year
you see that it's going up. Yes.
Yeah, every year.
And this year it's 9.7.
Yeah. But look at what happened in 2017. The inflation rate for 2018 was 3.7%, a 0.6 for decline from 2017.
Right.
So one would say that
it went down a bit.
Went down. So that would show you that there was some profits gain during the 2016-2017
period,
and I think that 2016 to 2017 period was the period where the election and there was some changes in the market.
And that's where we saw a lot of construction taking place across the country. And businesses was expanding and being established.
And because there was a foundation laid there. And let us give the previous government,
and
the PNP under the leadership of Dr. Peter Phillips,
yes,
they have laid a foundation. The foundation would have started from 2007 under Bruce Golding and Ardley Shaw, and it has continued. And trust me, we have to give the governments credit. You know, over the past years and so, where they kind of steady the ship. You know, as the ship go, and we have seen some good times and some bad times. You know, but yeah, definitely.
So we can, you know, definitely continue to track the inflation rate as we see here, making the comparisons.
And before we move on to the third segment, one of the things is that we have to be critical of is that the dollar.
Yes.
I think the US dollar to one Jamaican is 156, 157.
156, that's right.
Yes, and trust me, we have to be able to manage the US to one Jamaican, the foreign currency, the exchange rate. It's very vital. I know it comes back to demand and supply, and we can't afford to not have enough in our reserve. One of the critical things is that we have to have US dollar in reserve, because when demand and supply comes in effect, we do not want to see the market of this contraction, or there's unstable in the market. Things gone up, things go down. So we have to be mindful as well.
Mindful of that. All right, welcome to another evening of conversation talk with Rose on the Rose Corner. And this afternoon we have my good friend here, a guest with us another time, Swelly K, a young YouTuber himself. Welcome, Swelly K. Another conversation talk. I know that you were with us for the first conversation talk.
Yeah.
And that's good to have you back for this conversation talk. Right? Let me just see if I can. Right. So I want to welcome you back for another conversation talk on the Rose Corner. It's good to have you. We are going to be talking all about Swelly this afternoon. And I know that Mr. Swelly don't mind sharing some things with us this afternoon. And so, you know, I've been promoting our discussion all over, and I don't know if you have seen it, but it has been a free, it has been a free promotion going on. Oh goodness! One moment here. Let me see if I can get my paper here in action. All right, here we go. All right. So, as he likes to call himself, the Big Eddie Jamaican YouTuber, Swelly K. I did my little background research on you before tonight, so
yeah, no problem.
I'm happy to have you on, and at the end of this conversation, I have a spoiler to share with the viewers a little bit later. So Swelly K, you was a part of our first conversation talk, and you're back again. So let's get right into the discussion, right? Let's get right into the discussion. The discussion this afternoon is getting to know Swelly K, the YouTuber. And there you see Swelly K's logo on the screen there, Swelly K. You can find him on YouTube, Swelly K. It's Swelly_K, right? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. So the first question I have for you, Mr. Swelly K, I want you to tell us a little bit about you, the person. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, funny enough, you know, this is one of the hardest questions and people always ask me. I really and truly, I don't really know what to answer. So, you know, I was wonder, should I try to exaggerate or should I just make people know that I'm just a regular somebody? Because I think I'm a regular somebody. I don't really think more than nobody really. But if I could describe myself, I would say I'm a pretty laid back person, as in very chill, very relaxed. I'm also very humorous at the same time because I like to have fun and joke around as well. Right. You know, I think in life, you know, little humor and little fun is always a good thing. Cause,
that's right.
You know, cause life a bit challenge them and bad times. So, you know, sometimes it's just good to enjoy yourself.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So that's pretty much me in general. You know, I chill, smarty, have fun, like to give jokes sometime too. Yeah.
Okay. Aside from being a YouTuber, what else do you currently do, Swelly K?
Oh, I currently work at home, really and truly. So my 9 to 5 is that I work at home, and I'm also, all right, I know I say me as an artist. Got to me.
Upcoming artist, man, upcoming artist.
I'm say upcoming artist, but I'm mainly a work at home individual, but I'm also an upcoming artist. I guess I can say that.
Right. Okay. Your current your YouTube channel is Swelly_K, which we have confirmed. And I remember the first time you came on, you mentioned how the name came about, Swelly_K, right? A very unique one. Unique, simple, and catchy to the listeners. What's your thought on the crime situation now in Jamaica? What's your thought on crime?
I gotta be honest.
And do you think that there is a solution to crime?
All right. As far as the crime situation in Jamaica, I honestly think it's very bad, but it's not nothing new because people like to make it look like Jamaica bad just what they know. Jamaica has always been bad. And not with this generation. We have to call the way back from when I really like to call name. I'm not really want to drop names in, but Jamaica crime come from Jim Brown days. Jim Brown I like all when some of our parents are little. We are talking them. So Jamaica badness now come from outer no. And if you check your murder rate, the murder rate from that time, the murder rate was steadily growing and high. So yeah, the Jamaica crime situation bad in my opinion. If I think there's a solution, yeah, I think there's a solution to everything in life. You know? It's just that it's either the solution difficult and going to require a lot of planning, or people don't want to accept the truth of the solution. So yeah, I think there's a solution.
Okay. Well said, well said. I you know, we could talk about crime, you know, because there's like a lot of different factors into it. But I'll be having a conversation talk on crime and the hike in food prices another time. A question that some persons want to know, Swelike, are you a Christian?
No. I believe in God.
And why not?
Well, that is just really my personal view. That's my personal view. I'm just not one. Right. I have nothing against being one. I don't think anything is wrong with being one. For me personally, I'm just not one. But I believe in God.
Okay. All right. Well, I will respect that. You know, there may be some ladies who will be watching this and seeing and say, boy, Mr. Swelike is a nice, handsome young man. So I want to clear the air. Are you in a relationship or are you single at the moment?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, yeah, I'm single at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Remember, you know, this is going on the channel, so I hope that
nobody. Yeah, that's why I'm confident to say that. No, nobody not really get vexed. I'm genuinely.
Okay. What are some of the good and bad experiences, Swelike, that you have being a young YouTuber? What are some of the good and bad experiences you'd like to share with us of being a young YouTuber?
All right. I don't really have that much good experience. I'm going to talk about the bad experience first, then we'll talk about the good experience. All right. So my bad experience then being a YouTuber. All right. When I just started out, I'm not going to tell a lie, it's kind of difficult to try to find content to do because you know, that's the big thing with YouTube. And anybody can start a YouTube channel, but the problem is the content.
What is going to be?
Content that will show people, what will entertain people, you know. Some people have that rap already, but to tell the truth, we never really have it rapping on. We start a YouTube channel and I wonder what me I go do. So I soon tell you the bad experience and I'm gonna start telling it. But the bad experience them are so I usually start the first. Me usually did start like react to video, you know, like you have a reaction channel when people react to
right.
All right. So I used to do them thing there and for a while they're going good. But then I think we did do a reaction video with Ninja Man and like Emily Crooks. I don't know if you did see that clip there like one time back, like it did
I think I watched that one. Yes, I think I watched
it. So me did do a reaction on the video there and TVJ copyright strike my channel. All right, so for all those who don't know, when a channel put a copyright strike on you, basically when them feel say the video where you put up have something where them think belong to them, like the video property. Because so YouTube still, you know, the video content I like the copyright. I like a copyright. That's how YouTube kind of work. So when me react to a TVJ come copyright strike the thing and come copyright strike my channel. Now, when a channel copyright strike your channel, you know, I think if you get like 3 copyright strikes, your channel can get removed. So the video they have to get taken down, and it's like, but YouTube give one chance to rebut it. Like, so YouTube will give you a chance. I'm going to put chance in a quotations because I'm not sure I want chance then give. So then claim, but I'm going to tell you it goes. So you can appeal the copyright strike, but it's like, when me go appeal it, me that say, oh, me think it fall under fair use. Because the way our copyright law set up, fair use means that as long as you comment on it or you change up the format, you are legally able to still put it up. So that me did put TDJ never business, then copyright strike my channel, remove the video, and I think it was one of my best videos then where I get the most views. And just right now if you go on my channel, they can't see it. You know why? Because TDJ the copyright strike it and I make it to the channel. And after that, me get a second copyright strike. Let me tell you what that one they're gonna like. Me react, me make a video like me I react to dog. Like me that talk about dogs and I say oh dogs are good pets, you know, but them can be dangerous at the same time. And me that talk, me there will do some reaction on video and I talk about dogs. So we have a little 5-second clipping of the video. I'm saying one little 5-second clipping of the video. And somebody copyright strike the channel to that little 5-second clip. Is it me I try to say it's a 10-minute video, you know, whole power put in nice man and then copyright one video. Is it me I try to put a second copyright strike thing on my channel. So the brother him never want me appeal. I mean, they try appeal it, but he never give me a chance to appeal it. So I'm gonna find out him email address myself. I'm gonna send him an email like me and say him a polite email because the thing is with me, you know, I'm not gonna really bring no foolishness. I'm gonna still try to talk to people. Could say that I say hombre. I never something to say, but I say it in a professional. I say, look, you have a copyright strike my whole channel for a 5-second clip out of one video, right?
Ridiculous, ridiculous.
You know, give me a chance to appeal it, you know, give me a chance to do anything. And a second copyright strike. So after a while, I just stop post for a while. Because if me get one third one, you know what that mean. That didn't mean say. So it's like me I say, and then me alone talk about this. If you go on YouTube, I go see some creators from time to time. The more popular creators come and really think more popular. I thought the more international popular. Right. I'm gonna tell us it's a problem. It's a real problem. YouTube is like them just like it's not YouTube fault entirely, but it's them system cause it. Even though it's not them that do it, it's them system cause it. So it's like them not give a fair defense for anything like this. Like your video can have in a little clip or a little music or something, and then them want copyright strike your whole channel and you know remove your channel for one little 5-second or 10-second thing, you know. Foolishness. So yeah, them there was really me bad experience them on YouTube. If I got some good experience them, all right. My good experience them in YouTube. I would say my good experience that it kind of teach me how to do certain things like edit video. It teach me how to have proper lighting. Come on, if you realize that my lighting kind of good for that video setup. It teach me how to get proper lighting, how to get good camera angle, how to edit videos, how to put yourself in front of the camera.
You have to teach me some of that, you know.
Yeah. I still not think my all that because you know my channel really all that big, but I just tell us. So I'd say those are the good and bad stuff I come to say with you.
Okay. All right. And what would be your advice, Swelly, to someone who wants to become a YouTuber? What's your advice?
My advice? All right. I think it helps to have a goal at the content you plan to put out. Like just don't start a channel, just start a channel. Like have an idea of the content you want to put out before you even start the channel, because you know I end up in a space where you're there try find. Nothing wrong with that either, you know, I believe it or not, you have a lot of YouTubers no ideas, but them never really have no big plan either. They don't see start
with something.
So when I tell you say, oh, you have something. But me just think it better when you have an idea of the content you want to put out, rather than you just start and you're there try run up and try to find would that be good content? Would that be good content? You know, so that's just my advice.
No, okay. And this is just a generic question that you know we are asked most times on a daily basis. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, 20?
I'm gonna tell you the truth, you know. I see myself with millions of dollars, living a good life.
Yes, man. Talk it into being, man. Talk it into being.
So that I have stuff in place, working.
Yeah.
So for me, I think.
Right.
What's happening? I mean, one of them somebody go sit down and tell us, oh, you must get this time. But that is where I see, you know.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I must say you are a talented individual, even though sometimes you don't take credit for it. You know, you're also a writer. You know, sharing this with the viewers that you are a writer. You once wrote a book that was published on Amazon.
Still on Amazon.
Still on Amazon. Tell us a little bit about that book and why did you came about to write that book?
All right, I'm gonna tell you. All right. So first of all, the book it named War of the Eight Kingdoms by K. Jones. It's still up on Amazon. It's in an electronic format. So it's not a hardcover book.
Right.
It's a e-format, electronic format. So I read it in a PDF, isn't it? It's still up on Amazon right now. How me come about writing a book? Well, first of all, all right, I'm gonna tell you how this works out. All right. I always did want to entertain people in a way. Forget what I say. Right. Now, I'm not try to say me I want to entertain, but I've always see myself as entertain people. That don't mean for me personally need to go up on the camera or something, you know. Like
they can just things like behind the scenes, right?
Yeah. So that was originally my first way of start entertaining people. It's like I never really want to go into the camera, I never really want to go in the spotlight. I just did one, but I always did good with writing, I always did good with story. I always feel like I have like stories to tell. I not talk like about real stories, I talk like fictional. Right. So but as I start write the book as a hobby, as I like a hobby at the time, maybe I go through some like stuff at the time, and I end up go finish the book, but it hire like people to proofread it. You know, maybe go online and hire somebody, cause that's what you normally do the process. I hire somebody to proofread it, to check if it right properly. And we did hire somebody to deal with the book art. And then it did just shell together, end up put it on Amazon, and you know, the rest is history. That's how it did end up right.
Right. Interested. Mm-hmm. And so you are an all-rounder, basically, you know, and not only the fact that you are a writer, but you are, I guess you are putting your hands into another cookie jar. You are doing music. I must say that when I saw the clip on your channel, I was taken by surprise. I was like, but wait, I didn't know that Swelly was a singer, you know. But is that the most?
Is that a surprise to you too? Yeah. Is that a surprise to me?
that music video is that the most viewed video now on your channel?
Yeah, it is. Funny enough.
Oh, goodness. Yes. So you know we are going to listen in to the music now, and then we're going to do a little feedback from it. One moment here. Let me just see if I can do this here. Let's see if I can get something here. What are you seeing? Are you seeing? You're seeing the.
I'm seeing the PowerPoint. That's what's showing right now.
Okay.
Maybe I set it to only share the PowerPoint. Maybe I need to set it to share everything, the screen in general.
Yeah, I'm trying to do an adjustment here. Okay. All right, Tim, what do you see now?
Yeah, I'm seeing the channel.
All right. So we are now on the Swelly K YouTube channel, and we are going to listen into the song called "Chill Vibes" by Swelly K. Let us listen in to song.
This is for chilling. All right. This is for chilling. All right. All I wanna do is party every day. All I wanna do is party every night. But we gotta put in the work every day, cause we wanna be somebody someday. Let's raise our cups to the sky, cause we all tryna get high. Yeah, we all gonna fly. We gonna rock this party. We gonna do things naughty. Awesome party, these girls better bust it wide open. We all just looking, we gonna party every day. We all wanna party every night. All we trying to do is make the night last. All we trying to do is get lucky. We all gonna have a good time, cause we always busy.
You look like you turn it down, so.
That money, but sometimes we gotta get.
That's how you look like you turn it down, so.
You hearing it?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, look at Shawty's ass. We are gonna whisper in her ear. All I'm trying to do is get mine. I promise I ain't at the club all the time. All I wanna do is party every day. All I wanna do is party every night. But we gotta put in the work every day, cause we all wanna be somebody someday. All I wanna do is party every day. All I wanna do is chill every day. All I wanna do is make love every day. All I wanna do is eat every day. All I wanna do is sing every day. All I wanna do is have fun every day. I wanna do is party every day. All I wanna do is party every night. We here vibing, we here chilling. All we wanna do is party every day. All we wanna do is party every night. We be here chilling, we be here drinking, we be here sipping. All I wanna do is party every day. All I wanna do is party every night. All I wanna do is party every day. All I wanna do is party every night. Yeah. All I wanna do is party every day.
Yes, Maliki. All right, so that is it. That is it. That is it.
Your audio sound low. I don't know if I want you to do that, so I ask you it sound low. Like your whole thing just start sound low. Like me barely I hear you now. That's why I say, you sure you never trouble something or something?
Hold on, let me.
That's why I ask if you turn it down, because everything just starts sound low. As soon as they start play the music, like everything just sound low.
Oh, I don't understand. Okay. What do you see though?
No, my area clearly, but what I say is that as soon as it did start play the song, like little after, I don't know if I like, I don't know about everything, the way you added the start sound low, everything that starts sound low, I don't know.
Okay.
I know say the song not that low, I know say the song loud, so that's why I wonder how
it's loud.
Yeah, that's I mean, but anyways, yeah.
Well, but you heard some of it.
Yeah. But as I said, since you played for people here, as I said, I don't know what happened a while ago, but your audio just start.
I'm gonna have to probably check that out. All right. I want to know after, because I did listen to this song one time, but it's about 3 times. I want to know what category would this song fall under? Is it
obviously not dance?
Right. So
yeah, obviously.
What would you call it?
All right. It's funny that you should say pop. Yeah, I guess it can be considered pop or hip hop. One of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And tell us, what was your motivation for writing this song as well again?
All right. So funny enough, I was gonna say, I never really sit down and think saying media go be an artist and nothing like that. I actually did buy a mic for do my podcast. If you go up on my YouTube, you should see that also the podcast, right? So I did buy that mic, yeah.
Okay.
I did buy a mic here and podcast I did buy it for, right?
Right.
So what it end up happening is that, like, couple evening, well, after I did my podcast, them, me a bit in my head say, no, what if I could actually record a song on this? So I did start go on YouTube and watch like couple tutorials to learn how to sing. Yeah, I have to learn how to sing. I have to try to like vocal training and everything there. So what did really
how long did that take you?
About like a month.
Okay.
Yeah. And what did stick with me, they have a you brother who did follow up and I YouTube with them and I try to remember when name. He's a black man, he live a friend. I came and say one of the problem with most people why them not sing or probably them not become artists, like I say, everybody I try to sound like one popular artist them know already. And it's like him I say, but you shouldn't do that. You know why? Because that artist are there already. You are not that artist. You should not try to be that artist. You should try make your voice be heard, train your voice, so your voice can be the best it can be, and then you go out there and you voice, and then you be your own thing. You don't try. So I say that's the problem. So is that I say, so that make total sense. And like him I say, at first when I start sing, you yourself probably like how you sound, but after you train and do vocal training, you're frightened to see you probably have an audience of people out there somewhere if you promote enough, well, I like it. So when this said that, it really stick with me. And it have an ex brother I follow up on Instagram, his name Triple X. It's like him there talk about music in general. Him I say, music is a very weird thing. Like him I say, you'll have some song. Because like him there bring some example, like him I say, music is not so simple. Like him I say, you'll have some song where you'll have a group of people here, so nobody not like it, nobody know how to listen it. And then you'll have a next group of people over there, so where that are the best things in sliced bread to them. As like him I say, that are the next thing to him I say, it apply to every music. I must say, you have some brother there where I listen to them in a Jamaica, in a foreign to where him think them are the worst thing ever. And everybody does listen to him, and he must say, yeah, vice versa. So you have some song where him like, where people yes and like, but you have a next set of people out there, so well love it. And like this stick with me, because I'm all there talk about Bob Marley to him I say, it's when it comes to music, it's not necessarily who sing the best too. Because like him I say, him will honestly tell everybody, like him I say, him not think Bob Marley is the best artist. Me will say that too. I don't think Bob Marley is the best artist, but guess what? Him song reach certain people ears, it promote correctly. And kind of say, I'm sure you probably have other people in a Bob Marley time, and probably could have sing even better. You never hear of them. Because for whatever reason, it probably never reached the masses, it probably never promote enough. And so him says like him I say. So when we did go buy that tune there, you'd have a couple of people who tell me say they like it and them never like it. That song almost never reach, What I mean is that I almost never post that song, but when I tell them let me post it, we end up sending it to a next set of people but they love it. Okay. So it's like, man, I say, so that's a true word and music thing. And it's like, at first, I say, I don't want to release it because like, I say, Jamaicans probably not going to like that song. But it's like, I think you'd have a poll where they come out at the start of the year where them say the most listened artists on Spotify right now in Jamaica is not even a Jamaican artist, it's Drake. Drake is not a Jamaican artist. Drake not sing Jamaican. Jamaica is me I try to say. So yeah, I got have a market out there, people are probably gonna like it. And when me see it, as long as I put my effort in something, I don't really I go watch that. As I do it, I think that in a general life. As long as you put your effort in something and put your best in it, eventually everything else kind of will fall into place. Maybe you have to go work for everything else too, but I just a life go too. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks so much for sharing a little bit of history of Chill Vibes. And it's on YouTube, on Swelly K YouTube channel. Where can people find this song, Swelly K?
Well, all right. Yeah, as I said, up on YouTube, it's also on TikTok. Because
okay.
Yeah, so if you are
and you are Swelly_K on TikTok as well, right?
Yeah, but you're asking for the song. I'm not talking about me, but yeah, I'm also Swelly__. The song itself, it's distributed on TikTok. So you don't have to search with me, If you're gonna make a TikTok video right now and you type in Swelly Chill Vibes, you're gonna see the song. Because the song is distributed on TikTok.
Okay.
because we did arrange for the song be distributed on all digital platforms. I don't know why. It's not on all of them because it's on the YouTube and it's on the TikTok, but for whatever reason, Instagram now accept it. You'd have to manually put the song on Instagram thing, and I say if you do it, you're supposed to distribute it, but you know, but for whatever reason, never whatever. But yeah.
Okay. All right. When will we see the next hit song coming out for you, Swelly K? When will we see another song from Swelly K?
Pretty well. I'm not gonna say pretty soon, because pretty soon probably mean different things to people.
Yeah.
But just know the next song I come. Probably close to the middle of the year.
Okay.
My next song I come.
Yes, that is good. That is good.
And that one is gonna be more of a Jamaican flavor dancer.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
The thing with me, and I try I sing song specifically to one thing, you know. But that's a singer come to my head. That was the first song that come to my head. That's what it come to me. I never tell her the full inspiration. Even though I tell her the full inspiration. So after I did a record and I tell her all of my thing there, I think I did go party with some friend in a long while. Like some friend we never seen in a long while. Okay. It was like after I started the vocal training and singing thing.
Right.
And we just have one good time. Like it was just a group of friends we never seen in a good while. We just go out and we have a damn good time. And it's like when we there get drop home is like the song just coming on my head. It's like me I say, you know, so this is a nice vibe, but I really like to party like this every day, you know. Okay. But you know, so we have to so it's like this song doesn't come on, is that me?
The words coming together.
Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting stuff. Well, you know, it gives us hope as we listen, you know, and conversation talk this afternoon that another song is to come in the summer. So that gives us hope that, you know, the continuation of more songs to come from Swelly K. That is good. And you know, I want to wish you the best, you know, as you continue to, you know, multitask in different areas, you know, of your life and what you do. I did promise that I was going to give a spoiler at the end of the video, and the spoiler is that Swelly K, for those who are watching, Swelly K is actually my cousin. So that is the spoiler. Swelly K is my cousin, and it's good to have family on the channel. I want to thank you, Swelly K, for coming on another night to share with us a little bit about you as the YouTuber. I hope in the future we can have you on again. And every time when I extend invitation, you're always accepting. So it's a good sign. It's a good sign. And I will continue to mention you all over, and especially on my channel. Any last words you want to leave the people with today?
Yeah. Swelly Chill Vibes on all digital platforms. Get a listen.
Short and to the point, huh? Right. Well said, sir. Thank you so much for coming on. Hope to see you on again. And I mean, as I said, you know, at the beginning, I like the look tonight. Look like you're going somewhere tonight, you know.
No, sir. This is just the look, you know. We're artists, so we can't really look pop down. We have to kind of look unique as well.
Unique.
Yeah.
Just like the name Swelly K, unique. Welcome to the Roast Corner. Welcome to another night of discussion. Welcome to another night of discussion. I want to welcome my guest with us. He's no stranger to the Roast Corner, Mr. Ricardo Robinson in the building again. Night, Ricardo. All is well, how are you doing?
Wonderfully blessed, highly favored, rich in Christ, loving the moment. Always good to be on Roast Corner. If you haven't been on it, You're missing something, but Rose Corner is the place to be, my brother.
That's right. It is the place to be indeed. And it's good to have you. Good to have you with us.
Yes.
You were on when we were talking about the state of Jamaica last week, and now you're back on again to talk about an icon whose name is so popular amongst from the baby to the elder. Yes. So tonight we're going to be having a quick little discussion on the topic: should Bob Marley become the next national hero of Jamaica? And so that is where the discussion will entail this evening. So I want to welcome you, Mr. Robinson, to the show tonight.
Yeah.
Welcome. And I know you have a little bit to share on this, right?
Yeah.
And so the question to those that are watching, what do you think? Do you think that Bob Marley should become the next national hero of Jamaica? I will give you my 2 cents in a bit. And I think everybody quite know my answer to this question already. You know, it's a 3-letter word, an easy 3-letter word.
Almost said, is it love? But I leave it for the viewers to hear those 3-letter words.
So we're talking about Bob Marley place in history, and I think there have been many books that have been written about Bob Marley and about the contribution that he has made, not just in Jamaica, but internationally. And indeed, he is an international icon. And a lot of persons would say that Bob Marley is the reason why our tourism industry has flourished over the years, because it has been the what you call it, the bread and butter for tourism. When people hear Bob Marley around the world, they want to come to Jamaica just because of that rich history and culture of the legacy that Bob Marley left behind. Many people would say. I think when you look at persons who have made a contribution to our society, I think Bob Marley, is way up on the list. I think he's way up on the list. I think he's in the top 5. I think he's in the top 5 because a lot of persons come to know about this little island Jamaica because of Bob Marley music, and the contributions he made within the industry, and a lot of other artists who are now in the industry, Bob Marley was their role model. So I think his place in history is well cemented. And, I saw a report a couple months ago where Bob Marley estate is still making millions of dollars. And, it is Rita Marley, who is still alive, that is still getting those benefits. God bless her soul. Oh gosh, may she live many, many more years. But she's still reaping millions of dollars of the Bob Marley estate. So, even though he's not with us physically, he's what he has left behind is still producing financial resources for his family. And so that in itself speaks volume. He has passed so many years now, but yet still his labels and his music, they're still being played across the world, and they call it the royalty deals. The family is still making millions of dollars of royalty of Bob Marley's music, merchandise, and so much more. What do you say, Ricardo? Where do you see Bob Marley place in history?
And I have to concur with what you have said in your opening statement.
Yeah.
Bob Marley plays a big role in history. There are few persons who can come up or match to Bob Marley status in this life. Mm-hmm. And as you said, you don't have to go too far around the world to find out which 2 other persons. And there's several persons, but I'm just going to mention 2 persons who could match up to Bob Marley status. And obviously Michael Jackson is one.
Absolutely.
Michael Jackson is one. And then our own Usain Bolt. I know that will be up for discussion, but I just use those two persons now as an example. Say Bob Marley's status in history is well cemented.
Absolutely.
His impact and his contribution to not only Jamaica but to the global world.
That's right.
It's phenomenal, and trust me, there's no question about his impact and his contribution to society at large. And trust me, there is no question and there's no reason why we cannot find enough substance to say that these persons don't deserve something phenomenal in history.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I remember the member of parliament from St. Anne, Lisa Anna, had made a table something in parliament. I believe it was in April, May, June, thereabout, for Bob Marley to be named a national hero. She did that in parliament, and she laid out the case, from his birth and the contributions he had made and in the music industry. And I'm surprised that the government has not taken it up as yet. And we are entering into, we're soon into 2023. So, I mean, from she have tabled it in parliament, early up in the year, there's to be no, and I thought that the government would have acted upon it before the independence, but they did not. But, I said to myself, you have other countries who are labeling certain people as national hero. And I mean, Bob Marley has done far more than them. And he has not gotten that recognition. I think Jamaica is a little bit behind. Won't you say the same?
Yeah, definitely. But and just to put it in context for our viewers, they would want to know what criteria is required for us in Jamaica to give person a national hero versus those other countries who go ahead. And we're not saying those other countries just do it willy-nilly.
Because there must be a process, right?
There have to be a process.
Right.
And I would not say those countries just take up a US dollar and just said, do you care for a George Washington or a Teddy Roosevelt?
Right,
you know, but one would have to say that there has to be some criteria. And as you hinted earlier, that Lisa and I did lay out a case in Parliament, and it is shocking.
Absolutely shocking.
We have not come forward in this country to say, here what? Is it we settle this argument once and for all, or we promote it and say there is a case to look into this? Because trust me, there is a case. There is a case, and
Absolutely.
I think Jamaica should take this seriously, because but what this has done for us now, Chris, knowing that it takes such a slow pace for the government on the day to take a look at it, it gives us as people to promote this, because guess what? We have not yet settled off on switching from this king.
Absolutely.
Now the queen has passed, and now is the king head of state. So I would suggest that going into a republic, Jamaica, then Bob Marley could be that first hero as a republic, Jamaica.
That's a good way to look at it. Yes. And I guess probably that's why the government has not really sort of take Lisa and tabling so seriously, because remember Andrew said that he's looking to along with the Attorney General to sort of change the constitution.
Yes.
So I guess because that those processes that's not completed as yet, probably that's why they have not done that. That's a good point. That's good. That's a good thing that you mentioned tonight.
Definitely, and it's fair. And for those who are watching, let us let them understand this, Chris, that we're not against government policies, right? And if first want to understand where we are coming from with this, we understand the criteria. So persons who may not know, they could just go on GIS website and look at the criteria for what is required for a national hero. And Bob Marley has met
all of
those
them.
requirements.
Yes.
He built Jamaica.
Yeah.
As the scripture would say, the wise man built his house on a rock. One other build his house and a son, and when the flood comes in, it's going. But Bob Marley did lay that foundation on the rock, because up till today's day, my, that album, The Exodus.
Yes.
Hold it. I don't want to get warm now. It's the roast corner.
Oh yes, my brother. Well said. Yes. And as relates to the music, I mean, absolutely, we would agree that the music from Bob Marley time to now has changed.
Yes.
Even in reggae, there's been changes, to the whole formulation of the music. But up to this day, I still appreciate the music that Bob Marley did. I still listen to them, and I mean, when you listen to them, man, you also want to rock and roll, and it's positive music. It was music of the time,
yes,
and some of them still resonate today. I mean, it's unbelievable.
That is it. And let us look on two of the criteria here, Chris. I just want to throw it in for our viewers to understand. Is that one of the criteria is that it have to be a person who born in Jamaica.
That's right.
Right? And has been a citizen of this country in order to gain that national era.
Right.
And Bob Marley, born in Jamaica, in St. Ann. I think it's 7 or 9 miles to be exact, in St. Ann. Right? I know that they have recently used Kingston more than his original birthplace in St. Ann. I know the persons them in that 7 or 9 mile years of St. Ann probably are pretty much upset that not much has done in that parish. But we do understand that Bob Marley is for Jamaica, but one of the criteria is that he's a citizen of this country, and he pays fair share of tax when he was alive.
That's right.
Right? As America would say, I'm a citizen of this country and I pay my fair share of tax. So he's a citizen of this country. The second criteria is that the person has to build and deliver a wealthy contribution to the society. And in that criteria, there's a lot to unpack. I know that we may not go into everything, but for those who are watching, can look at it. But when you become a hero, your contribution to nation building is paramount. And Bob Marley did that, not only in his music, but if person understand his lifestyle and how he approached things. The famous one was in the 70s when he had that One Love Peace concert in the National Stadium, getting the two leaders, the GLP leaders and the PNP leaders to shake hands and that's
a phenomenal moment in the history of Jamaica that up to today people still remember that in their brain. Yeah,
of course. As and person would have known that Michael Manley in the back in the day. Love is jacket, that jacket he always wear.
Right. I call it the one suit. I can only suit in the house.
Yes, it's one suit. The name just elude me. I try to remember that the name that they refer to that jacket is right here, but it's not coming out. It's me, but it will come back to me before we close off here. But his contribution to society is evident, and trust me, if you look at the history of Bob Marley, it is clear. One journalist on RGR back in the 80s, said that Bob Marley should do less talking when he usually use the words I and I this, I and I that. It never will be, to be exact. It is Bob Marley should stop less talking and more singing, because persons hearing clearly in his songs in a strictly English, the Queen's language at the day, more than talking and say I and I this and I and I, this I. But at the end of the day, we see the contribution that Bob Marley has provided in this country. Absolutely. When he tours, he brings a lot of wealth in terms of the tourism market here in Jamaica. not only by his music, but his lifestyle that you see persons in Japan, Germany, the whole lifestyle, the whole holistic approach here changed, the whole love and the vibration and the attitude of human, to love each other and care for each other. It's evident. It's evident.
It's evident. It is evident. And so, I echo the same message that it is time.
Yes.
It's time that the leaders of this country no longer make it a political issue. Now is the time not for them to delay either. And, for this to happen, that, insert his name in that book as the national hero of Jamaica,
Yes, and Chris, and when this issue arises a few weeks, months, or years ago, and still today, there were several names put forward.
Yes.
And I was saying to myself that,
even Miss Louise Bennett name was mentioned.
She was one that I was saying that if Bob Marley cannot get it, then I would echo the sentiment and support for Louise Bennett, and also Mary C. Cole. That woman, trust me, words can't even express those two fine Jamaican. Well, at the time, it was a British colony, but Mary C. Cole, if you go to the University of the West Indies, you have seen that section of the building that named after her and the contribution that she did for Jamaica and nation building in the hotel sector. Trust me, it's a lot. And we have not heard anybody talk about Mary C. Cole. But if I have to be biased, Chris, if those persons cannot get heirship, I have to be biased. My native parish, the parish of St. Mary, I would have to say Chief Taki, who fought that revolutionary fight for gaining independence and slavery, abolishment of slavery in Port Maria.
You're going to have to make that argument in the Senate on next Friday.
I have to be biased. And if Bob Marley cannot get it, then let us opt over to the parish of St. Mary and support Chief Taki, And that's why they named the school, Taki High School in Gale, to be exact. But this is a serious issue.
Yes, absolutely.
We are facing here. And I think Jamaica really need to take a serious look. And I think Jamaica was taken aback when we see our neighboring island of Barbados named Rihanna by Prime Minister Mia Mottley, which is a bright lady, a wonderful lady, and a respectable Prime Minister of Barbados. Let the country know that we are moving forward, and there are going to be some tough decisions has to be made. And this is one of it. We're going to name Rihanna national hero, and we're going to take away this queen and becomes a republic, follow suit, right after Trinidad, Barbados. Then the question is this: is Jamaica and Guyana going to leave in the pipeline? We can't leave in the pipeline with this issue. We have to come out of the pipeline, let some river water from Yalas or from the YS Fall in St. Elizabeth flow through the pipeline, and Bob Marley can come and say, freedom!
That's a good way to put it, brother. That's a good way to put it, my brother. So
yes.
On the Rose Corner, that Mr. Robinson and I agree on this.
Yes.
That Bob Marley should indeed be named the next national hero of Jamaica, without a doubt. And so that is the conclusion we have come to tonight. And I echo the same thing that you have just mentioned, Mr. Robinson, that when the government is considering national heroes, it should be people, who have really made that dent in the society. Not some fancy names that, serious people that may really make some contribution. You call them like the founders of the land.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely right.
That's why I did mention Miss Louise Bennett. I mean, yes. A phenomenal woman that have done so much, you know.
And Chris, the thing about the Louise Bennett was so many Jamaicans fail to understand and appreciate of the stellar and hard work that she puts in with the language.
Yes, the language
to make a patois sound so sweet.
Yes.
And acceptable in our own self-esteem, that we are not to be ashamed of our own native language. That is the first language from our birth.
That's right. And in the memory of Miss Louise Bennett. Long time, yeah, we never see you.
Yeah.
Come at me, hold your hand. Teenage drunk us, don't mind Long live Louise.
Yes. And one person must understand that in the 50s and the 60s, Louise Bennett did do some hard work.
That's right.
And to convince the British people and the British Jamaicans in the country of Great Britain that, listen to me, this country, Jamaica, with our language is key. Yes, and we're not to be ashamed of our own languages.
And to our work, our work is like, you know, it was like, it is a unique language that you must be proud of.
It's a unique language.
That's right.
I mean, every country have their own unique language. For example, when you look at the language of person who speaks Spanish, I mean, the dialect is different from Argentina to those in Spain, in Europe.
Even in France, yeah.
Or Venezuela, Costa Rica. So there are some nuances with the language, you know, that differ at times, but the same meaning, but the way our persons probably express those words in sentences and to present their cases. But trust me, there's no question or any doubt who should be the next national hero. And I suspect after Jamaica becomes republic, then we should see the 8th national hero of Jamaica proclaim. Not a man with something in his hands, but a man singing, you know, how we can say, yes, this is it.
He said, not Peter Phillips.
No, not Peter Phillips. I would prefer go for Peter Touch. I said, come Peter Touch. Come along with Bob.
Yes.
With that train and the stone and the glass.
Say no further, my brother. Say no further. Yes. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the end of our another discussion this evening. We hope you have enjoyed it as much as we have enjoyed it tonight. Indeed, we agree, and we hope you agree as well, that indeed the next National Hero of Jamaica should be the legendary, the icon, Bob Marley. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with a friend, and remember to tell a friend about the Rose Corner here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you soon with another discussion very soon again. Any last words, Mr. Roberts?
Continue to tune in to Rose Corner. Rose Corner is the place to be. Dynamic, interested. Words cannot explain, but once you tune into Rose Corner, there's something for us to learn and to be impacted by.
Absolutely.